Hi, Gil from Testing Gil here. If you've tested APIs before, it's very clear what you need to test. The cool thing about APIs is that they are well-defined. REST or GraphQL have schemas based on HTTP. gRPC is another protocol. You have to define a schema for each case. These schemas are really contracts. Contracts are for letting the client know how to talk to your software. These clients are other computers, so they need something they can comprehend. Who's better than understanding schemas and understanding contracts and how to talk to other computers? And who are these new computers that are taking over our lives? AI. And if these guys understand the language, we can ask them about test cases. Let's try, shall we? This time it's a live example, and it's called Star Trek API stapi.co. It's a database about everything in Star Trek, and of course it has APIs we can call. So I went to my test subject, in this case Claude Sonnet, and I gave it this prompt. Suggest test cases for this post API about searching characters. And I gave it a schema. I'm guessing I'm not the first to ask because I got really good answers. Here are a couple of them. The first one was about basic search, naturally. The second was more specific. It's about pagination parameters. Now, the schema defines pagination. You can ask for how many results in any page and which page. Note though that the answer is not about regular pagination, it's about big result sets. Obviously, our model knows that we need to test pagination in the context of a large dataset. And it should, because many APIs in the world work on big datasets and request a partial result set. But the thing is that it directs you to where you actually need to be testing. Now, if you've been testing APIs for a while, you'd say, of course, this is exactly where I will be learning how the system behaves, how the API works. But junior testers who may be focusing on the structure of the API may benefit from this guidance. Let's take a look at another suggestion, the fallout of a bad request. Again, this is a good suggestion. We may think about errors in the system as a good thing to test, and we should, but it's more important to focus on how the system reacts to them. We want to see how the system handles errors. Now, error handling is code for what happens when we feed the system the wrong food. And it's interesting for us to learn what happens when we do this. Now, there were other suggestions about special characters and Unicode and even partial search parameters. I really like the partial text match suggestions because I did them as part of my exploration with Postman webinar a while back. I even found a bug. So I was really impressed with the suggestions, but I wanted more. So I gave it the following prompt. Give me concrete examples, damn it. So I got examples of searching for Kirk and Picard and Spock, but then it got more interesting. For example, when searching for names with special characters in them, it suggested names like T'Pol or Worf, son of Mog. Another example was searching for recurring names, characters with the same name, and this is for the Voyager fans, searching for Paris, which brought up both Tom Paris and his father Owen. Now, if you're a Trekkie like me, you'd say, these are good examples. But if you're looking at it from a testing perspective, you'd be even more impressed. When we say good examples, what exactly do we mean? We usually mean the examples are taken from the world of the system, the tested system. So sure, I can invent things that sound Klingon or spell like that, but if I see examples of actual words from Star Trek in my tests, I'd probably trust my test more, because I see good examples of the real system in the test itself. So, if the test passes, I say, great example, it should pass. And if it fails, I would say, it shouldn't fail an example like that because it belongs to Star Trek. This is supposed to work. So, the more our AI buddy knows about the system and its content world, it can produce better suggestions and better tests that we can trust. Other suggestions and other examples were about the schema and concurrency and versioning, which are less connected to Star Trek but more connected to APIs. So, not a bad start, right? So yes, I'm sure that with your experience you probably would have come up with all these examples by yourself. And with more experience you probably come up with more interesting suggestions. And that's okay, because we're not counting on our AI minion to do all the work for us. But can you do this in less than half a minute? Even some of the suggestions can save us time. The suggestions can give us ideas that we didn't think of, or that we thought of but haven't tested for a while. So here's my suggestion. Next time you're doing a test planning session, invite an AI. You'll be surprised. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, like, subscribe, share, and put some comments down below. Tell me about when you asked your AI for help and what kind of surprised answer did it give you. Until next time, bye bye.